Hello everybody, welcome back to Sli-Fi. I pray to God that He sends His Spirit to each and every one of your houses and leads you to the path of Jesus. Let's just jump right into it. I watch a lot of videos, but none of them really go through how they get their sources. So that's what we're going to do today real quick. First of all, you want to look at a Quran verse. You go to any Quran site that you use. I'm using this one right now, and it gives you a whole mess of translation. So I'm going to go through them all. This is 65:4, the Surah of Divorce. In this surah, it describes those who have not menstruated yet. Those who have not menstruated yet. Those who have not menstruated yet. Those who have not had their courses. Okay? Their period shall be 3 months. Well, that's because you want to make sure they're not pregnant. Yusuf Ali, a famous and for those who have no courses, it is the same. I'm assuming you have to wait to make sure they're not pregnant is because you're allowed to have sex with them also. Alright, this is for divorce. As for you women who have despaired of further menstruating, if you are in doubt, their period shall be 3 months, and those who have not menstruated yet, and for those who are with child, their term is when they bring forth their burden. Who feels Allah, God will appoint for him of his command easiness. Now what does that mean? Let's go to the Tafsir. Alttafsir.com. These give the scholars' explanations of the ayahs or verses in the Quran. Very simple. Scholars' explanations of verses in the Quran. On the left side of this website, Al Tafsir, which is a Muslim website made for Muslims by Muslims, you click the Tafsir in the left column. You put the surah or chapter in. We're looking at 65:4. Al-Talaq, verse number 4. We can go to they give you a choice of your Jalalain or Ibn Abbas, the cousin of the. We'll go to the cousin of the Prophet, since he was actually alive during the time of the Prophet. That's the cousin of the Prophet. This is going to tell us that they're allowed to divorce prepubescent girls after an iddah. An iddah is a waiting period that we just talked about. My internet is really slow, or else I'd be doing live streams. You can also go to the Sunnah while that's loading, and just put in a simple search of insunnah.com. You can just put in a simple search of 6 years old in the search bar and come up with multiple sahih, correct hadith which mention the Prophet marrying Aisha when she was 6 and consummating the marriage, if that's what you were going to call it, instead of rape at 9 years old. 9 years old. Whew. Let's see how my Tafsir is loading here. This is Ibn Abbas Tafsir for the 65:4 that we looked at. And as such, for your women, as despair of menstruation because of old age. If you doubt about their waiting period, their period of waiting shall be 3 months. Upon which another man asked, O messenger of Allah, what about the waiting period of those who do not have menstruation because they are too young? What about the waiting period of those who do not have menstruation because they are too young, along with those who have it not because of young age? Their waiting period is 3 months. So clearly, not only is it in there from their scholars, but it's in Islam from Muhammad's example, as we can clearly see here from Sahih Bukhari. The Prophet wrote the marriage contract with Aisha while she was 6 years old and consummated his marriage with her while she was 9. This is a double hadith, okay? The Prophet wrote. Everybody should take note of this hadith, not just because he's a pedophile. Okay. Now for the good part. So, in the Battle of Vienna, the Muslims are digging under the ground, and the bakers hear them. The bakers hear the Muslims digging on the ground, and they tell the soldiers. And the soldiers get a drop on them, and of course nothing happens, and they want to reward the bakers for tipping them off. And the bakers say, no, just give us permission to bake a pastry in the shape of a crescent moon, which is now our croissant. How funny is that? Man, no jihad over there, we wouldn't have croissants over here. Oh my goodness, we just can't get away from these people. Next time I'll give you the story about how we got the name Santa Claus here, and it's the same thing. No jihad over there, no Santa Claus over here. Alright, give me a like if you like the story. I'll be back